Hi, Prema here. Wow, we are in it, aren't we? It is definitely unstable times. I am sure that you're feeling the range of emotions, the instability. There's so much shifting right now inside us, but also in the world. And there's an intensity. Boy, the intensity dial's been really turned up. We came through a lunar eclipse already, and now we're going through a solar eclipse on the 10th of June. We're already in a Mercury retrograde. We have two other planets retrograde, and I want to share with you how this is going to impact you, what it's good for, and what you need to watch out for. If this is resonating for you, give this video a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and share this with somebody else who this information on how to navigate this changing time would be helpful. Go ahead and share this as well. For conscious women visionaries who are ready to go deeper than ever before to unlock their innate power to transform their lives and their businesses from the inside out, there's a link in the description below. And if you stay to the end, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. All right, let's get into it. I want you to know what you need to know to navigate this shifting floor. Like I like to say, keep your sea legs on during this period of time so that you know that you are on your trajectory and not getting pulled off course. All right, so this is in Taurus, the solar eclipse, and this is Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac. It's happening at 25 degrees of Taurus on June 10th. It is an annular eclipse, meaning that there'll be a ring of fire around the eclipse. This is a new moon. A solar eclipse is always a new moon. The last eclipse we had was a lunar eclipse, and that was in Scorpio, where we're feeling the depths of our emotions and our fears coming up to the surface, and where we were really asked to let go of something. So take a moment and reflect on what you have been asked to let go of. That means that you might have felt like you lost something, or you're losing something, or something's being taken away, or something's not coming to fruition or hard to do. That was the lunar eclipse, but that's making space. That's the great mystic in the Sacred Wealth Code system, always asking us to become detached and relinquish. This is happening with the north node of the moon, Rahu. And Rahu's all about our attachments. It's hooking us into the material world. It brings opportunities. It's an alchemist. It is the magician. So this energy that we have to watch out for, because with the connection and the sort of hooking us into the material world more, it tends to bring complication and drama. But it is a new moon eclipse. It is a fresh start, and it does tend to change our trajectory in the area of life this is hitting us. So I want you to know the sort of global collective areas that this is dominating. Because it is Taurus, it is our values, it's our stability and our security. That security is that second chakra energy. We all want security in some way. And right now, your security is feeling sort of shaken in some area of life, or maybe just collectively, we're all feeling it. You want to be able to open up to what this eclipse, the new trajectory that it's bringing in for you. But you also want to be careful that you're not pulled off course by shiny objects, by something maybe somebody else is coming in for somebody else, and you think, oh, I want that too. You need to stay open to the new trajectory for yourself. Part of that is setting a very clear intention for yourself, because the psychic energy that's open during a solar eclipse brings things in on a very deep level. In fact, it's really wonderful to spend more time in meditation on the solar eclipse. There's just this really amazing opening, and it is more about manifestation and what we're bringing in. Energy inside out, energy into form. Where the lunar eclipse was releasing form and moving it back into energy. So this is the process of involution as far as materialization goes, and evolution as far as dematerialization goes, as far as the last eclipse we had. Okay, because this is in Taurus, we also tend to be very attached, and our control can really be up. So this is another real big clue for you. What are you trying to control right now, or feel like is out of control for you? This is where you're being called to, okay, like you're holding on to it, you've got a tight grip on something, and you're being called to loosen your grip and open your palm so that something can shift and change. Where we're bringing in something new, we have to let go too. We need to make space for all of that. And that's really the lunar eclipse was helping us to do a clearinghouse and make space. You want to pay attention to your values. Because this is in Taurus, your values are being challenged a bit. So you want to make sure you stay in complete integrity with yourself, because the solar eclipse is about purifying your attachments, and what we're attached to that really isn't serving us, then that can lead us astray and take us off our paths if we stay attached in that area. Remember that you need to let go of your control, because we can't grow if we're trying to be in control, and that's what this is about. The nodes of the moon, these eclipses are about growth. We need something to agitate us to grow. Just like we prune the tree and then it grows, and it grows more in the direction that we want it to. The growth that's happening for you at this particular period of time is going to take you on a new trajectory in whatever area of life that is for you. If you are a Virgo ascendant, this is happening in your ninth house of teaching, of divine purpose, and there's a new direction being carved for you in that area. If you're a Scorpio ascendant, this is happening in your seventh house of intimate and business relationships, other people. There's growth in bringing in new people and new relationships, but again, we have to let go of our control in order for that to happen. Solar eclipses change your trajectory. It's like you're going down a road, and you get down the road maybe a couple more miles, and you start to think, this doesn't look like I thought it would or like it should. And you realize, oh, back there a ways, the road was at a Y and you went off to the right or to the left. You're actually on a different road now, a different trajectory. And with a solar eclipse, that's going to play out over the next 6 months to a year. It's not a left turn or a right turn, like a sharp turn, but it's more like that Y. Oh, I'm on a different trajectory right now. So you want to be very clear with yourself and intention on where it is that you want to go. The eclipse is going to bring it unexpectedly, and it will bring, even if you have a very clear intention, it'll bring that even in a more unexpected things connected to that, because we cannot predict what's going to happen with eclipse. But working from the inside out, you want to have a clear intention. And then you want to work with your emotions, basic manifesting, conscious creation, as I call it, and as I teach it in all of my programs. With conscious creation, you want to have a clear intention, and then you want to know what the feelings, the emotions that are connected to what it is that you are wanting to create, to draw into your life. This is an emotional period of time. Eclipses always are. So either you're going to manage your emotions, or they're going to manage you. So by you getting clear about how you want to feel and starting to work with that emotional energy, you'll help to override that getting batted around by all the emotions flying around. So with this eclipse, I want you to really look at your values. What are you valuing? What's important to you? And we want to make sure that we stay true to our values. And where you would tend to negate your values around this eclipse time is around your comfort and your pleasure, and maybe doing something that's comfortable or sort of too much pleasure, or just checking out, instead of staying true to your actual values. Maybe you've decided you're not hanging around a certain kind of people, or you're not indulging in a certain food or a certain substance because it's just not in alignment with your values anymore. Well, but because of what's going on during this eclipse, the energy, you might just find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, what the heck, I'll go ahead and do that anyway. And then you're very sorry in the end that you did that. So you really want to watch that. So don't, watch those thoughts of, well, right now it doesn't matter. I don't really feel like it. No, stay very clear. Stay very, very true, because we can get a little bit lazy when it comes to this part of the zodiac around Taurus. So this is wanting to purify you. And that means when we're being purified, sometimes we're a little bit uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable when you're actually growing. We're not comfortable when we're growing, because when we're growing, it's something new. So I want you to embrace being, having the kind of uncomfortability that is stretching you, like when you're at that, in that yoga posture, you're doing a forward bend and you're going to that edge, and you're going, oh yeah, I feel like something's actually happening here. You haven't pushed through it, and you're also not hanging back, just, checking out. You're right on what I like to call that healthy edge. That's that place of growth, and that's what this eclipse will bring for you when you're staying very present. It may feel like you're going overboard when you're sort of checked out, so we have to be careful of that. Truth is coming about. There's an exalted moon here. It is being eclipsed. Sun and moon coming together opposite sun and moon is a new moon, and this moon in Taurus is exalted in Vedic astrology, but it is being eclipsed. Remember, your moon is your consciousness. The sun is the soul. These are very important aspects of you. So we need to be open to the truths that arise during this time, because collectively there's some big truths that are going to happen. The eclipse is taking us all collectively on a new trajectory, but your intentions and your being present and conscious is part of that collective trajectory. Now, Mercury is in Taurus at this particular time. It's not right lined up with this eclipse. That's a good thing. Let me also I'll get to Mercury. Give me just a second. Make sure that you don't make any important decisions during this time. You cannot see all of your choices. It's a foggy, stormy period of time. You may make a choice that is not really in alignment or that you're sorry you made. And how do you know? You're going to feel pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. This is like a big pressure point. And when the eclipse happens, it presses through that pressure point. We're feeling like, that pressure coming up. So anything that you feel like, it's urgent, you've got to make a decision on, gosh, what if you don't do it? All of that, just take a breath, take a big chill pill. There are decisions you may have to make in the moment, those that arise right in the moment. It's a moment-to-moment decision, but not perceived decisions. Take the pressure off. Anywhere you can say, I'm going to defer this till after June 15th. June 15th, we're past the eclipses. The sun is going to then move into Gemini, and we're going to be clear of the nodes of the moon there. We'll be able to think in Gemini much more clearly, entertain things more clearly, make choices much more clearly. So defer to June 15th if you can. Now, that Mercury retrograde. Mercury went into retrograde on the 29th of May, and it's going to be there through June 22nd. Now, Mercury is great for our discrimination and being able to see the truth, and we've got to watch out with it around this eclipse time, especially about our discernment being a little bit wonky. This is not a bad retrograde, so to speak, because Mercury really likes being in Taurus. It's Venus's home. Mercury, the great communicator, the great messenger, the great merchant in the Sacred Wealth system, is in the house of Taurus, owned by the great artist, connector, muse, Venus. And so, but the communication can be a little wonky during this time. So I want you to listen first, slow down, and you'll be able to discern things if you take in the information and sift and sort and make sure it's the right information that you're taking in. If you move too quickly, you're not going to get the right information. And if you're communicating too quickly, in the reactive sense, you're going to miss the truth, okay? So you want to be responsive in your communication. You want to have good communication during this time. But it means with Mercury there, we're reflecting on our communication. We're reflecting on those values and the messages that we're receiving. You will receive messages during the solar eclipse if you take the time to get quiet, if you take the time to be in spiritual practice, be in nature, allow those messages to come through. So be careful of your reactive communication, and also take a look at your own thoughts, what you're thinking, what you're telling yourself. There's that inner communication that you need to slow down and not be reactive with as well. You want to be responsive. So again, give yourself some time. Now, I also want to say in business, because Mercury rules business, you'll also want to make sure that you're not in a reactive place. Take your time, be discerning about things, bring things into your heart, listen close, tell yourself the truth, and don't be in a hurry. Okay, Saturn's still in retrograde. It's going to be in retrograde for a few months. So if you're feeling a little bit stuck, just understand you're going back over your commitments and you're taking a closer look at your commitments. If you want to visit the last video I did about the lunar eclipse. I talk more about that. The link is down below for that as well. And Jupiter just went into retrograde, and it'll be in retrograde until, Jupiter's going into retrograde on the 20th of June, and it'll be there until September. So with this retrograde planets are strong, okay? But Jupiter has been in Aquarius, a great humanitarian sign. This is a place of great idealism. This is a place of great truth. And it's really good for studying. It's good for, again, getting to the truth of things. You're going to find that as Jupiter is retrograding there, you're going to be taking a closer look again about what are you inspired about. Is that still what's driving you and motivating you? These retrogrades are causing us to take a closer look at what they take a stand for. And Jupiter being the great teacher, the great sage, her guru planet that has a ton of light. It's got so much light. We just want to take time with that retrograde. Again, it's really wanting us, we move from inspiration with Jupiter. So what inspires you may be shifting and changing, and the teachings you're attracted to. So you want to just give that some time and some reflection, and again, always asking yourself the truth. Tell myself the truth. Drop into your heart and find out what's true for you. Okay? Because the sign of Aquarius, we do see the truth arise. So Jupiter's going to go slower through Aquarius before it enters Capricorn in a few months. All right. If you have any questions, put them down below. I want to know what your values are, what values feel like are being challenged, or what values you find that you're opening up to, or you're growing. Leave me a comment below and let me know about your values, any questions that you have. And if you haven't taken the Sacred Wealth Code Archetype quiz, the link will be down there. It'll be in the comments as well, too, if you want to find out one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes. And then also, I just want to mention, too, that please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps us get the word out there and help more people. And again, for the Soulutionary Blueprint, if you are a conscious woman visionary and you really want to take your life and your business to the next level and do it from a way that is from the inside out, really owning your sacred wealth code, owning your soul blueprint found through your Vedic astrology chart, your purpose, your great work in the world, and really want to make that impact and have all the tools and guidance you need to do it, and do it from the inside out, knowing that it's who you're being that's really driving what's happening in your life, then go ahead and click the link below. You'll fill out a short application, and we'll hop on a call with you and see if the program's a great fit for you. It is a one-of-a-kind program that gives you everything you need to embody and trust you and trust your gifts. All right, so much love to you.